Likes and dislikes disabled. Nice memes.
In this video, we'll be covering the changes to DayZ's central economy for 0.60 build, what to expect on how it works, and how the changes impact gameplay from the previous 0.59 build. Please keep in mind that as DayZ is in active development, anything seen in this video, including rendering functions, nighttime settings, economy settings, and so on, can and are subject to change as DayZ continues development towards its early access release. This should be most visible to survivors in high traffic areas across Chernarus, such as military bases and large population cities. The goal here is to see less repeating of the same items in buildings and more dynamic representation of the loot spread across Chernarus. This should be expanded into spray-painted or different colored handguards and buttstocks as well in the future. As of the current build, we're not spawning ammunition inside weapons that have internal...
It's like when, it's kind of like when, it feels like sometimes with the DayZ devs, it's kind of like how if you go through like a beginner's book for like programming or something, you know how like, now you've learned this feature, now look at all the different ways you can use this feature. And it's like, oh sick, we learned how to add guns to the game, and now look at all these different kinds of guns, and now we learn how to do attachments, so now we're gonna do different attachments, and then different attachments with color. And it's like, okay. Destiny, I mean, that's kind of how programming works. What, will you just expand and expand and expand and expand upon thousands and thousands of assets in a certain area while other parts are just completely and totally fucking fundamentally fucking broken?
Well,
okay. Sure, but I think that... Yeah, I understand, but that's like poor project management. If you have people, if you don't even have the concept phase like fucking done, or you don't have the core phase done, and then you're hiring out a ton of people to do artwork, and you haven't even figured out this part, like it's poor project management. Like, obviously, I'm not saying pull all the artists into the coding and make the artists fix the engine, but it's just stupid. Like, you have to understand from both like a management perspective and from somebody that plays the game, it looks fucking retarded to have 50 million different types of pants and clothes and guns and shit when the core game is still broke as fuck. Like, it looks bad, and it is bad, and it's stupid. It's a poor allocation of resources, and it shows bad planning. Like,
what is the biggest issue?
The game engine that they want, the game that they want to exist can't exist on the engine that they have, so they're trying to squeeze as much life out of that engine as possible.
Can't, or...
I get him. I can't tell if you're being intentionally retarded or if you're just like being really, really fucking obtuse, or... I'm just saying that, like, let's say that I wanted to make a new fucking, let's say that I wanted to make like some kind of what you see is what you get text fucking document, but what, I don't know, any kind of thing ever. So let's say that I want to make like a game, okay? Oh no, fuck it, yeah, let's just do a video game. Let's say that I want to make a video game, right? Like, I'm not going to hire and have every single person start working on the same day, like for every single thing. And then like, okay, well, we got the artists that have done all the fucking artists done, but we still don't have anything done with the programming, really. So we're just gonna have the artists keep churning out like millions and millions of fucking assets for our shit that we don't even fucking know is gonna work. Like, I feel like this should be done in stages, no? Like, once you have the core thing, like, it's weird because every time you see, like, or anything that I've ever seen, like, pictures of shit in development, usually you have a lot of the really funny, like, programmer placeholder graphics because I can't fucking draw, right? Most programmers can't. You get, like, the funny, the weird kind of looking shit, and, like, that's what you expect to see, right? Because you don't have the real artist brought in yet. But with DayZ, it's the complete opposite. Right at the fucking start, it's like, look how beautiful it is. Look at all these beautiful assets and blah, blah, blah. But the core everything is still completely fucking broken. Like, like, if you go, I guess, I can't think, I guess, of too many examples, but, like, if you look at, like, all the iterations of StarCraft, like, the StarCraft 2 early builds.
Okay, there are project management, like, methodologies, and they're clearly not using one of the standard ones. If they have somebody who's in charge of project management at all.
Well, they did. It was the Dean Hall, and now it's replaced with this other guy. The problem isn't that their methodology is bad or anything. The problem is they started working on something, and they probably thought that they fucking would explode. They're so fucking stupid. I don't know, dude. They started working on it. The problem was in Arma 2, this is so frustrating.
I still haven't heard of, like, in a concrete list or sentence, what is wrong with the base game.
Okay, so in Arma 2, they wanted to make a game with zombies and a huge open world game that would be like a milsim, except with zombies, and it was survival, and it was going to be cool, okay? But the problem was, kind of, yeah, but there was a lot of, problems with it. The controls for the game are very sluggish. Opening and closing doors would sometimes kill you. Running up and down stairs or getting on ladders, like none of it felt very fluid. The feedback was very poor. For instance, like in Arma, for me to climb a ladder, like you would rotate your mouse and you would click the climb, and then after like a 1 to 2 second delay, your character would like snap to the ladder thing. Like we can go through DayZ right now and show you. It's just the feedback is very, very bad. It handles
Was
very.
that because the programmers for the mod or whatever implemented poorly in the first place, or the engine?
No, that was just an engine limitations for Arma 2. These weren't DayZ specific problems.
Okay.
These were
This was
just
Arma
yeah.
2 limitations.
Yeah, and you run into a lot of issues like that with DayZ. Vaulting is another example of a fucking horrendous. Like it's just very. I'll see if I can like run through like real fast, like to try to get
And
things.
So they switched engines, or they didn't?
No. Okay, so the point of fucking Arma 2 was the engine didn't work. So the whole point of the DayZ Standalone was we're gonna build a new engine from the ground up. They must have said that 50 million times, right? Which sounds like, okay, cool. So Arma 2's engine
We're
didn't
gonna make
work
our own
because it had all these limitations. So they're gonna design a new one, maybe based on the old one. But the problem is that didn't happen. It was a fucking copy and paste from Arma 2. All of the same problems that are inherent in Arma 2 are inherent in this game. Every single problem is still there. And you get all these weird things, like in Arma 2, making zombies was really hard. Well, guess what? In this game, there are no fucking zombies because they still rubber band through walls and they glitch around and they go through floors and shit. And like, the FPS issues are fucking horrible. Like, if I'm outside of a city, it's okay, but like if I run to like a city.
Have they expressed any intent to modify the engine?
No, the big thing that they have right now, the big update coming now is the new renderer, which to make the game look better, like.
So they just don't have any plans to improve the.
They always just say like, oh, it's coming, or this is gonna help with whatever, but like this alpha has been existing for like.
actually?
No, I don't think so. I've always said I would take bets.
Fans were saying that, but they haven't actually ever said that.
Yeah, like look, like why sometimes. Okay, so like.
So you press it and it happens. Yeah.
Yeah.
Response time is-
But like sometimes it
And
doesn't
that-
happen.
That is completely from Arma 2.
Yeah, these are all problems. It's just like really that time it's a very, very like maneuvering your character is just very fucking frustrating in this game. Like it's not like CS:GO. Like if I were to hop into like Killing Floor 2, like where you can run around and do everything instantly, right? But these are all problems that were inherent. The new render is supposed to help performance. Suck a fucking dick. I'll bet you any amount of money. I'll bet you any amount of money right fucking now. I know that you're not making. I'm sorry. I'm telling you right now, the new render is not going to help with fucking anything. Like opening doors is just really annoying. Finding like the open and close point, like you have to have your mouse in the right spot. And it's just kind of weird, and it's not really like as responsive as you'd hope it would be. And like just everything about maneuvering yourself in this world is just really fucking frustrating.
So the biggest problem is they're using a 15-year-old engine, and they have no plans to improve upon that engine.
So they just keep shoving out more shit graphics and shit guns and shit. Like you can find 50 million different types of pants, and you've got like 27 different attachments that you can put on your shitty M4. Like.
The main guy in charge of the project or whatever hasn't released any sort of
He left.
final vision.
He just left, Dean Hall, because he was fucking incompetent. He just left. And like you can see, I'll see if this guy will kill me. Hey, come back.
Hey, you want a gun?
Do I want a gun? Oh, you got a gun? You got a gun? Oh shit! There's another guy right there. Watch out! He's running away. Go get him.
Baby, get the gun right here, dude. At my feet, boy.
But I don't think there's any ammo. I think you're gonna kill me as soon as I pick it up.
There's a fucking clip right there. Do you not see the clip?
I don't see a clip, but I see a fucking magazine, dog. Picking up.
That's what I meant.
Why are you giving me this? Okay, so I guess I. Hey, what the fuck? Why would you do this? Why do you have to be like this? I bet there weren't even any bullets in the fucking magazine. You lied to me.
Beat his ass down with that rag. Get him. He sucks. Get him.
I can't do
I'll help you.
anything.
Is there
Get him.
really, so you had to pick up the gun to make yourself.
Fuck this guy.
Oh wait, I got the gun.
Fuck this
No,
guy,
you can
too.
punch.
They both suck.
Wait.
There's a
Can
lot
drag.
of people
Look at you. Now you're running around like an idiot.
All right, where was this
Nope.
motherfucker? I'm gonna
Nope.
get him. No, I'm not hurting you, dude. You're cool. You're a cool dude. Where was the other guy at? Oh, there's like a dead dude right here. Oh shit, he's still running around. Fuck him up! Oh wait, are you him? Wait, is that the
Get
dude?
him.
Is that
Shoot
the
him.
bad guy?
Man,
No,
I
there's
didn't.
the other guy.
I
Go
didn't do
new
anything
spawn,
bad.
go!
There were 3 people. In
Sorry,
the
you're
other
talking about me
game.
sucking, dude. You guys suck fucking the fat ones, fool. I ain't even died yet.
Did you call me fat, motherfucker? I see you hiding back there, you little punk bitch, motherfucker. Oh, no! Fuck, I don't even fucking... Whoa, hey, Axeman. I have 4 bullets left. Why did this guy...
Shoot me. I'm
Yeah.
just the Axeman.
The Axeman. Hey, do you have another magazine for me, dog? Because I'm running out of bullets, mate.
I got 3 more rounds.
Oh, damn! You should have stopped and talked, motherfucker!
Have you tried H1Z1, King of the
Whoa,
Kill?
hey! Whoa!
These was
I just helped
second
you!
they
I killed the
decided to
bad
try
guy!
to use Arma 2 engine.
He is the bad guy.
So you saw like he hit like an off arrow and it knocked me out. It's like really fucking weird.
That was.
Those are memes. It was worth, yeah, it was worth. But like the story of DayZ has always been like having fun despite the horrible fucking limitations of the engine. But yeah, holy shit. The
You were a cute little Asian girl.
the dream was they were gonna launch a bare bone, like this was my dream, okay, from like an organized perspective. They were gonna launch Chernobyl the map with like nothing. They were gonna have the buildings and like 1 gun, but you were gonna load the map up and there were gonna be zombies and your character was gonna control perfectly. Or at least nothing was gonna be loaded and that was all they were gonna be fucking doing. And that would have been dank and updates would have been released. Hey, we fixed some of the desync issues. We made it so that when you get shot, it registered instantly instead of having a 2-second delay. We were gonna make it so that somebody can't hit a spot like what just happened 3 feet in front of you and then you're gonna get knocked out. We made it so that if you jump off a building, your body doesn't kind of float for a second before you die. Like those were the things that were gonna get fixed. And watching those patch notes would have been fucking awesome. Like, oh sick, they're actually fixing the sync issues. You can now vault consistently. When you interact with doors or ladders, there's some sort of good feedback, right? Like feedback for a game is really important because you're just pushing a fucking mouse button. You're not feeling that, right? So you need to have things like even as stupid as like an H1Z1 when you punch someone, you hear the sound and then the head does that. That's good feedback. It feels like you're...
Nathan wishes StarCraft 2 would feedback to him by talking back.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, you!
Yeah, so like the feedback in the Arma engine is really bad when you, again, like that thing, like when you walk up to a ladder and you click to climb, instead of seeing your character like climb and the camera like move and go up, you just like whoop, snap to the ladder and it's very strange and awkward. Like all of these problems, like all of these issues.
But what Steven's saying is that since they said they were doing a ground-up engine, those things shouldn't have existed.
Yeah, so the
in
guy saying
standalone.
they didn't have the expertise on their team to make those changes, that's the problem. The second I loaded up the DayZ Stand Alone and I saw that all of the same, I'm not just saying me personally, other people have said this, right? I'm not saying I'm like some holy fucking diviner of information of programming because I don't fuck all about programming. But when I loaded up DayZ Stand Alone and I saw, oh wow, every single problem inherent to the Arma 2 engine is now here. It was very obvious that there was no new engine. Like it's not a new engine. It's a copy paste from Arma 2 with a few different features involved, like a mini little itty bitty upgrade, not even like barely an upgrade because all of the problems and they downgraded the fucking sound. Yeah. Anyway. Destiny, the issue with interacting is still an issue with Arma 3. Yeah, I understand that that's an Arma issue, but like that was the whole reason why DayZ was sold to us. The idea was, hey, we're gonna make a new engine to fix these problems. And it's like, oh my god, it's gonna be so dank. But it wasn't a new engine to fix the problems. It was a new engine to add fucking berry picking and clothing, Barbie's fucking dress up for your character. All right, I'm done.
I love the Barbie PC game.
Yep. So fuck all has happened on the fucking game. And then you get embarrassing as fuck. You get embarrassing fucking videos like this where it's like, well guys,
Within the DayZ.
here's what we've got for you today. Look at all these new guns that can spawn. And we've got a tool where you can look at all of these guns. Look at all these guns.
Vehicles.
Look at all these
Here we
guns.
see several examples of M4
Of all
spawn
these
development
guns.
server.
Look at all the attachments.
Each M4 has randomized handguards, optics, butt
Oh
stocks,
my god.
suppressors,
Butt
and
stocks,
magazines.
suppressors.
They should be expanded into spray painted or different
And more
colored
colors.
handguards and butt
Whoa.
stocks as well in the future. As of the current build, we're not spawning ammunition inside weapons that have internal magazines.
Whoa.
We hope to be able to resolve this in either a future update to point. We'll be should.
Notice how what I just did in DayZ, when I just logged into DayZ, there were 4 or 5 people there. I'm pretty sure we were in fucking Berezino, which is one of the largest cities in the game. I think it was Berezino, right? And notice how we didn't see a single fucking zombie? They should rename the game.
Yeah, you already made this joke.
I know, but I didn't actually tweet it. Got it.
You said,
Bam.
like just day.
No, this is good. This is perfect.
Okay.
Notice how we didn't see a single fucking zombie in the entire when I logged on, even though there were all those gunshots going on. There was all that shit happening. Notice there wasn't a single fucking zombie.
Maybe they already killed them all before you got there.
Where were the zombie bodies? They didn't, because there are like no zombies in the game because the zombies are too glitchy. In the game called DayZ.
The lead designer on StarCraft 2.
Is this the first battle report?
Blue
Yeah.
Terran.
To be fair, I wouldn't expect everyone to be Blizzard. Blizzard is really fucking solid when it comes to like
This is on
making their
cool
shit. Oh, this isn't necessarily what I'm looking for you.
Base, it's driving off.
There was like a really cool thing where they showed like the first like 50. This is it.
The intro screen. And what you'll see is actually a little bit of any new units. The start, so pretty
Right. This is what I would expect. This is like, I feel like in growing up, like when people would present like alphas and betas, like this is usually what I expect. You expect to see these really shitty programmer placeholder graphics, or maybe they'll bring in an artist to do some very, very, very light work.
'Cause it's
And
pretty
the
primitive.
big art, the main art comes after all the core functionalities in place, because you don't want to have a bunch of people working on art assets. Like imagine you're managing this project and you've paid people to do all of these assets for a particular art project, say weapon attachments, that a way that an attachment looks on the ground, and then say as you're moving through the core functionality of the game, you figure out like, oh fuck, if we want this game to work as it is, we can't actually have weapon attachments spawn on the ground. Well, now you have to throw away all that work that the artist did and all the money that you invested in paying them, because those assets are no longer going to be working with the new, right? That's why you have an alpha, and that's why you usually have like some kind of flow chart of design, so that you don't end up doing a bunch of worthless fucking work.
So we started with the StarCraft 1 unit.
Destiny, didn't they have most of the art done from the mod already? No, they redid like all. That was one of their.
Decided that that's all they want to do is the pretty stuff on top, and that's all they're going to continue doing.
Yeah, but then they fucking lied. Like if you look in the beginning, if you look in like the beginning of when Dean Hall was showing off like all of the art and everything was all pretty and updated, and they showed all the retarded little doodads and shit. Was it E3? Two years ago.
Okay, so I'm here with Rocket, the man himself, the legend. Obviously, you've been working on DayZ Stand Alone, and
Nope, he already cashed the fuck out. And now he's selling another game that's on an early release schedule. So you can buy the pre-alpha, wow.
I guess my ability
Look, they already have all these fucking updated fucking graphics and
to
shit.
shoot there. Yeah. So that
Oh, and then they lied. I wonder if he knows that I know that he's fucking lying right now. And they said they made some revolutionary network bubble that made it so that hacking in the game was impossible. And there were hacks on like fucking day 3 when this shit came out. That was another one of the huge fucking lies. Some revolutionary network architecture that...
everything we're doing.
what's your primary goal?
Yeah, our primary goal, as well as dealing with with
I'm
inventory.
surprised if he cashed out of DayZ that his huge DayZ fans don't like follow him to his other games stuff and like harass him on it.
What they did for quite a while. I don't know how much social media presence he has anymore. You see the zombie phase through his fucking body?
The whole
in an
focus
E3
of
build. This is a
everything
build
we're
that they
doing.
prepared to bring to E3.
Yeah, our
Oh,
primary
hey,
goal,
cool. It's
as
that
well
one
as
huge
dealing
problem
with,
that existed in
with,
Arma 2. Oh, wow, that
with
problem.
inventory and stuff
Where there's
like that. We
absolutely
still had a
no
lot of
fucking
bugs,
collision
you can see
detection
how
once the zombies start
attack
animating. Wow, huh?
Effect wasn't sequenced with the animation. That's
Oh,
because
yeah,
we
it was
come
just an animation sequencing issue is why the zombie moved through my
up with
body.
a new
Yeah,
animation
oh.
system, but we haven't.
But we
haven't
fixed
the
all that.
effects
They
side
didn't,
of
by
it
the way.
yet.
Destiny, don't you feel like the core issue of this video is that E3 almost forces devs to make vertical slices to drive sales that eats into development time? What do you mean by vertical slices?
Well, a lot of the times they
To make fake oh.
Yeah, they take a basically a snapshot of their build, and tweak it to make it look as
optimal. Yeah, no. Of course, this has always been a problem with E3. Okay, that is a problem, Fatal Wound. People, and this is a huge problem with E3. People that bring fucking pre-renders and shit into E3 are literal fucking criminals. But the problem here isn't like. The problem here isn't that any of that. None of that is related to this. The problem here is you can see through their design process how absolutely fucking mismanaged this game was. We can go through this entire 17-minute video and Dean Hall isn't going to make several statements addressing this is why zombies are so fucking bugged. This is what we're doing to address the general sluggishness of the engine. This is what we're going to do to reduce FPS lag in major cities. Instead, it's a stupid fucking, look at all these cool beans I can find under a table.
Going around now, just like picking up items and stuff like that. But we've also introduced as well that...
Oh, and look at all the dress up. We can tear apart items and dress our avatar up.
Items that you can see, so are nearby you. You can actually pick up... you can actually pick up on this vicinity.
Destiny, are you seriously saying that Dean Hall should have put himself on the fucking cross for DayZ instead of saving his career? He's the one that... Why are you acting like he's a fucking victim? Are you autistic? He's the one that came out and made all of these promises. He's the one that said hacking was going to be gone forever. He's the one that said, we are the ones that are going to make a completely standalone fucking thing. He's the one that sold a pre-release game. Here's a fucking tip, dog. If you don't want your fucking reputation to be at stake, don't fucking let people buy into a fucking pre-release. Wait until you've actually made a product worth selling and then fucking put it on the market. How the fuck can you cry about reputation damage when you make the choice to put a pre-alpha up for public sale? That's literal fucking AIDS of the brain, dog.
Finding the gear and all that kind of stuff. So
you have the prettiest clothes on for the zombies to phase through when they try to attack
quite
you.
a key part.
Definitely key part. That was a key part. A lot of people in Armored 2 complained that they couldn't make their avatars pretty enough. That was a huge issue in
terms of character.
So you're going to blame the guy who was and has always been the face of the project since he originally created it for trying to create positive PR for it? I can't. No. Don't talk. No. There's not. Just ignore him. He's being really fucking obtuse. It's not even.
Yeah. So with the initial alpha, we're really just sticking to the basics. And I know that disappoints a number of people, but we just feel that that core.
Do you think he had a choice? No. Agna brings up a good point because there was a lot of info that got released that Bohemia. You kind of see his face? Bohemia actually kidnapped his parents at gunpoint and forced him to make these announcements for these games. And if he didn't deliver on the promises, I think he had to release the game to save his mother. And if he didn't deliver on the promises, and then he had to deliver on the promises to save the father. Well, he released the game, so they let the mother go, but apparently he always had a bad relationship with his father, so that's why he pieced out, and they didn't deliver on the promises there, and then the father was killed. He was actually forced to make them. So Agano brings up a really good point there, and that he didn't really have any choices here. I agree.
Experience has to be right before we build anything else on. Okay. So we are looking at other options like tattoos and things like that, particularly in relation to like
tattoos are really
gangs
important.
And things like that.
Oh yeah,
we want people to be able to build their own identities.
I had a gang in Armored 2. We were called the wall shifters because sometimes we would open doors, we would shift through walls. It was actually really sick.
That. Right. But we're definitely not going to look at stuff like skill trees and things like that because we feel that in DayZ, if you're good at if you're good at something,
wow, look at these fucking.
You should be able to be good at it in the game. So it's unfortunate we don't have that synchronization with the attacks.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate that none of these ever
really,
fucking work. Wow, nice, good game.
Really
How was that,
New
Dean?
drink animations there as well.
Yeah, new drink animations.
Oh, new drink animation, awesome. That's so cool.
The item isn't actually in your hands, but that's coming in very soon.
We're working on that. Again, the important things.
There's a lot of placeholders here, obviously.
It's you can see some lights here. Adding DirectX 11, but we're worried about the impact it'll have on lower end cards and things like that.
Implying DayZ could ever run on any system. Implying that my SLI 980s aren't pulling 25 FPS in cities if I'm lucky. Right now, 2 years after this video.
Yeah,
Look at the fucking 3 years after this video. Just look at this, okay? Just look at the fucking UI, okay? Look at the UI here. Apparently the alpha was released to the public the 16th of December 2013, so a little bit over 2 years old.
Remember that this is an alpha.
What the fuck is this screen?
What's your field of view?
Why does it like the VO? Why does it because the thing? But the M is still on the outside.
This is an alpha
What's
menu, okay?
mouse sensitivity? Why does
They didn't want to take. It takes up too much of their 10-minute time to make a menu that you can look at and use. Okay?
Where are my bros at with their
What about the
256 megabytes of VRAM?
What about the in-game UI?
I mean, it works, but it's very, very laggy and slow and clusterfucky and... The UI is for when they port to mobile. Do people actually work on this game? Yeah, dog. They've got like a whole slave shop of artists that are making millions of new guns. Didn't you just see the update video? Oh, anyway, back to the StarCraft
We didn't
shit.
have any new units. This was the early versions of the models. The UI obviously needed a bit of alignment work to actually get it properly working. And we actually working. And the explosions were absolutely awesome. System that was put in, some base and some
Wow. Look at how they've got like all the core functionality of the game done. Look how the units are fighting, and the pathfinding is working, and all this shit is happening, and they still got these shit tier graphics, and then they finally start improving.
Back then, we killed.
Oh, and you see the placeholder graphics for the creep, right? Because they're...
What creep looks like when you put a bunch of programmers in a room without an artist to actually give them direction. But we had our first version of the creep at a prototype stage at this point. Moving on, 2006 and they're much bigger, and you could actually spawn it by just merging 3 Templars together. This is the mechanic we said. If you look in the video, you remember seeing starting to really polish up the maps and actually give them. So at that time, we optimized the game some more, and we fixed more bugs, and we worked on the campaign some more, until 12,000 builds later, we shipped version 1 of StarCraft that we have today.
I couldn't. We've also got this new system, which I can't entirely explain because I haven't fully implemented it yet, so I don't even fully understand it. But allowing
Whoa, is this going to be something to do with bad collision detection, or zombies phasing through everything, or the sluggishness of the engine? What do you think?
you to interact with the environment by picking stuff up.
Okay.
So
Whoa!
we'll be demoing that in the next week or two. So because it's so much more detailed, and the fact that we.
The funny thing is, like, the new health system that they have in this game is so absurdly fucking autistic. You have 3 meters. There might even be more now, but when I stopped playing, it was 3. You have blood. Okay, I think you have. Somebody correct me. I think it's blood, HP, food, and then you also had thirst. So if you got shot, you would bleed and lose some blood, and you would lose HP.
I
But
thought hunger and thirst was just like messages or whatever.
No.
Bars.
They were bars, but you can't see them. So if you got shot, you would lose HP and some blood. And then, like, what you would have to do is you would have to eat food. And then when your hunger was full, you would slowly regenerate blood, which you don't know how much of you have. And then when your blood is full, then you could slowly regenerate HP, which you don't know how much you have. Like...
Well, I don't know if that.
I think there's...
Hello and
The
welcome
guide to the health is 25 minutes long.
to my quite in-depth guide
I mean,
on
if,
eating
if
and
the
drinking in
visuals
the
that
days.
went along with it, like dizziness or change in color and stuff like that, made it apparent enough, I don't know that that would necessarily be such a bad
one might
thing,
be.
because
It's a bit more
that's
complex.
better than having like 10 bars of status on the side of your screen for a game like this in terms of like immersion. Just
Yeah, but you
having,
just...
having good visual signals isn't impossible
energy?
to do.
Yeah, I know, but like you have to be really careful because nobody wants a totally immersive game, because some things like that are
and-
really
right,
annoying.
and
Like if
some
you
of
had to go to the
if you have
bathroom
to-
every 30 minutes,
Right,
like
and but there's a good balance you can do, and if you look at all the people who are in the modding community for like the Skyrim games, I add a whole bunch of those immersive mods to games like that I play, and
If
they
you
do a
want to know
really
what's
good
going on
job
in the-
of adding visuals and stuff like that key you in on what you need to do and what actions you need to take without being overbearing.
Yeah, sure, I'm sure that can exist, but the average person doesn't want to fuck around with 15 different things that they have to manage just to get back to full
There's a difference
HP.
between like 15 and like 5. Like,
I mean, this is
blood-
really-
Wait, are you saying that all of these have to be full in order for that to? Like,
Yeah, and they all work
or whatever?
independently. Like, let's say that I'm at like medium food, and then I get shot. Well, now I've lost HP. I've got to bandage myself up to get some blood. So okay, so what do we have to do? We have to fill our stomach in order to get the blood going again. So now I have to go and find food. If I find food, I have to eat. You can't eat too much at once because then you'll throw up and lose a ton of food and water and blood. So you have to eat a little bit until finally your thing gets.
How do you lose blood from throwing up?
I don't know. Maybe you don't lose blood from throwing up. I don't remember if you lose blood, but I know you lose stomach and water, and you could get like fucked or whatever. So then you have to eat. You got to wait until you're not hungry enough again, and then you have to eat more until finally you fill your stomach up. Which I think when you start at half hunger, so you can't just eat yourself to full hunger. And then once that is finally full, then you'll slowly start to regenerate blood. And then assuming that your stomach stays full, your water stays full, and then you finally get your blood back to full, then your health will start to regenerate. Like it's just a huge, annoying. It's absurdly fucking complicated. Like.
Game when it comes to hunger and thirst, and also your blood
Yeah, there are
level.
definitely
You
ways
need to
to
be
make that
aware
more
of 5.
intuitive.
Other doesn't be 4,000, might be 5,000. It's not really relevant when it comes to understanding the concept, so let's stick to 4,000 for now. As for the unit, I like to think of milliliters as an appropriate. While those messages are still in white, call tablets available, you may as well
So
try.
he's
this
talking
out.
about, I think, like.
Of course, tell me
puking.
what you found out for
You
science.
need 15 minutes to realize if you are or are not full.
Oh yeah, because it has to wait for it to update or whatever. Like.
If you want to force yourself to vomit, all you have to do is to fill up your stomach to find related to your stomach.
Destiny, I remember reading the DayZ subreddit when it's still just the mod, and that kind of complex health system was definitely something the vast majority of people wanted over a simplistic system. Yeah, but there are some times when, as a developer, you have to ignore users because sometimes users are fucking retarded. I mean, I guess like
There's a way of making it more complicated than
without this was like
then eat once every 6 hours and get
The
shot
seconds-
and then die.
yeah, like keep in mind like you're talking to somebody like I enjoy autistic games and I like difficult games, and when I talk about things like DayZ, like I don't like things like Epoch and base building and all that. Like I do enjoy the experience to be difficult, but this was just fucking stupid. It was just
Storage is
really
the water
absurdly
based
complicated.
The game tells you that you feel like having a drink. To know
Like
is that
again, like this is a 25-minute video to
Right,
explain
well above-
how to get your
however,
character to full health. Like
N, which has a total volume of 440 milliliters. This volume now enters the stomach and is added to the stomach level. The water and nutrients from the beans are absorbed by the body and added to the respective storages. 330
yeah,
water
well they played Battle Royale. There was also survival mode like
and
DayZ, but
462
Yeah, but
energy.
everybody played Battle Royale.
This process
oh
may
wait, I guess the food thing feeds into an energy meter. The food and water feed into an energy meter, and then
maybe it's the nutritional index that's responsible for the speed of this process. Not taking up too much volume and dose. Eating a pack of rice drains 1 liter.
oh, and some foods take up more space in your stomach, but don't give you as many like nutrients.
water
Holy fucking
The
autism!
storage is
because if you're a
depleted based on your
poor person and you
exercise.
only
So
Eat
overloaded.
fast food and shit, then you're not going to be able to be as.
No.
then
to
you'll
enter
get
full
really
regeneration.
fat and
If your energy
it
level is
doesn't give you
above
as much energy
5,000
as
and
if
your
you're on
water
a
level, the
protein
remaining
diet.
2,000 units stored and change or even more than inventory space. If you keep
Destiny, the subreddit was filled with fucking zealous crazies. Devs should ignore them more often than that. Yeah, like that's one of the things. Like you have to remember, like the DayZ subreddit was full of insanely autistic ideas constantly. Like
you have to balance this kind of feedback.
like realizing that
fine.
okay, like maybe not
Yeah.
everything. I think the main reason why I hate the Dean Hall guy so much is because like him defending himself, like the answers that he gave for everything were just so fucking stupid. I think like a lot of it eventually boiled down to like he was like I didn't give a fuck about E3, so the build that I brought was just a random shit build. What the fuck?
You should have just brought whatever they had.
Well, usually people will prepare like a build for E3, like
Yeah,
you'll
normally
do.
You have somebody who
But he
does
did.
that.
They just snapshotted it and didn't give a fuck about anything. Oh my god! Oh fuck! He deleted his fucking Reddit account too. Good. Fuck him. I just don't think you quite understand with what is involved with you saying, but I understand the sentiment behind him. The best I can say is, don't buy the alpha if you have concerns. We don't need the money. We don't want a large number of people playing the alpha. Think Prison Architect. The purpose of us being public is to allow people to make an honest appraisal of the game and make up their own minds, no matter how misguided I think their thinking may be. There's not really anything constructive in your post. You don't understand that performance is worse in single player because it is having to be server and client on the same box. And multiplayer, the server does most of the calculations, so the client just displays the result. Think about that for a bit. First of all, no.
First of all, no.
That's not even close to being true. That's so fucking autistic. That's so fucking stupid. Do they have fucking GPU rendering farms that are gonna send me the fucking frames? This is so fucking stupid. Why would you even say something that fucking autistic? Is the fucking server gonna keep track of every single player and it's just not gonna, it's only gonna send me the fucking image on my monitor? This is the dumbest fucking, not only is that fucking stupid, bro, this is your game, this is E3, why wouldn't you just bring a server? You realize you could just bring 2 boxes to E3, right? You have the fucking space. Bohemia's paying for the fucking booth. Bring a fucking server and bring another computer to run the single player. Oh my god, how hard would that be? And then you could run the server right there and run the client right there. How fucking impossible would that be?
They haven't animated his movement to be able to bring 2 boxes. Once they animate that, he'll do that.
The bulk of our work has been going into base architecture that cannot be seen. What, like finding items underneath tables, like dressing up your fucking character? Because the base architecture didn't address the sluggishness of your character handling. It didn't do anything with zombie collision detection. Zombies still go through fucking walls. Your character still handles like he has a combination of fucking Down syndrome and some crazy ass disease that I don't even fucking know the fucking... So we're showing the build, warts and all, to drive away those who might not be happy if they play something buggy. Nobody cares that it's buggy.
Wait, was this your post?
Yes. This was like the most constructive post I've ever made in my life. I tried so hard to be kind in this post, okay? Because I like the game and I really, yeah. Okay, so, I'm sorry, I'll read this real fast.
Let me be the judge of this is you
Okay.
actually being nice.
Hello, I'm a relatively well-known streamer in the StarCraft and League of Legends community, and I absolutely fell in love with DayZ a year or so ago when I first discovered it and started playing. Like a lot of you, I fell out of interest with it due to the hacking primarily, and also a bit because of all the random bugs. Nothing was more frustrating than running 15 minutes to the Northwest Airfield only to be thunderdomed by a hacker or, arguably worse, killed by a door in one of the barracks. Heh. Like a lot of people in the game, or in the subreddit, I quit playing DayZ for the most part and began to anxiously await the release of the standalone. It's been quite a long wait, but we were all, for the most part, happy to wait because of 2 things. We knew that the team that was working on the game was relatively small compared to most larger game studios, and we knew that the end product would be something worth waiting for. Today, I want to talk a little bit about number 2 and why the E3 footage that was leaked worried me a little bit. There's no easy way to say this without coming off like a bit of a dick, so I'll just get this part out of the way. The E3 footage looked like a reskin of the Arma 2 DayZ. The movement appeared more or less just as sluggish, the door moving the character model, the general handling / response to the character, and more noticeably, the zombies appeared just as glitchy as ever, running through walls, hitting the character, running behind the player due to pathing to attack, doing damage way before they've even gotten to the character, etc. These things are very worrisome because these are the hard parts about the DayZ standalone, and from what it looks like in the E3 preview, absolutely no apparent progress was made towards solving these problems. I think I speak for all of us when I say this. I was wrong because this server is artistic as fuck. It would have been far more exciting to see a shitty collection of boxes that represent houses and stick figures representing the players and zombies moving around the screen and interacting with each other in an incredibly smooth way than it was to see a reskinned DayZ with all of the same bugs as before. If everything looked like absolute shit, but the engine, the thing we're all the most excited about, looked to function well, damn, that would be exciting. Because at that point, all we're thinking is, Jesus, everything is so smooth. It looks like shit because of the placeholder graphics, but all they have to do now is work on the animations and graphics and everything will be perfect. Instead, we saw a nicer looking reskinned DayZ that honestly wouldn't surprise me if it were just released as a DayZ patch tomorrow. Graphics updates, guys, and way more buildings you can go into, plus a crafting and map system. That's pretty neat, but those aren't the things that we were really excited for. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people who like the new graphics and the map and the crafting system. I think they're fine ideas. People are mad and upset though because they assumed that these new systems were going to be built on a heavily improved standalone engine that was free from the terrible buggy glitchiness that existed in DayZ. Some common responses I've seen so far: dude, shut the fuck up, it's pre-alpha, idiot. Yeah, it's pre-alpha, but why did so much work go into new buildings, nice graphics, inventory management, and a new crafting system before work went into the actual engine itself? In my earlier example, I think we all would have been far more excited to see shitty programmer placeholder graphics and a well-functioning, smoothed-out engine instead of seeing what essentially looked like a reskin of our current DayZ game. There are a ton of changes, you can't see them yet, just like server client. If the game is already that laggy in single-player mode, there's no way any server-client architecture is going to help. I'm sure they've made some changes on the back end, but none of those changes are going to matter if the end product to us, the player, contains horribly glitchy zombies and sluggish Arma 2 movement. Ugh. Sorry. Yeah, so then he says, so he responds and says, I brought up no legitimate points. The bulk of our work is going into base architecture, blah, blah, blah. And then I counter, and I think I'm pretty nice here. Simple answer for you. Oh, and then this is where it says I didn't care about E3. I refused to divert resources for E3 that could have been spent on development. I was personally still doing development work the morning of the first day of E3, and I am doing it now at night. For the sake of example, let's take your suggestion about bringing 2 boxes to run DayZ multiplayer. You say it is simple, but that requires preparing a clean database, protecting said database because of the armed guards that were going to be there trying to fucking bully him out of his game, changing configuration and server files to point to said database. Is this really that fucking hard? What? Also, preparing a clean database and protecting this database, I'm pretty sure Bohemia's paying you to come to this fucking event. Is marketing for your event. Is it gonna take a little bit of work? Yeah, sure, but it's part of your fucking job.
Doing that kind of stuff with builds is something that I would do in like a half an hour on a daily basis.
Like testing, bug fixing, development. DayZ is designed to work with its current one central hive for the current time being. Like, how hard is it to change fucking pointers? Are you fucking serious right now? Like, holy shit. Like, I really want to implement, I want to copy paste this new website to your shit, but the CSS is just gonna point to the old.
I was hoping that saying these things would be over your head to a point where...
Then he should have just said, like, you don't understand, but it's way harder. So then at least, like, I could think, like, okay.
He did initially, but since you kept going, he's tried to use bigger words to ward you off.
Like,
because you clearly don't understand the words database and configuration.
I don't give a fuck about I don't give a fuck about E3 as a conference, and I don't care for diverting resources towards supporting it. It's an expo that's going to die, and I couldn't care less. Holy shit. I mean, I just don't know where to start. Your statements seem quite genuine, but honestly, they're awfully naive about development in general, and I really think you need to do a bit of research. Statements like the basic engine seem absolutely untouched are just plain retarded. What? Basic engine? What the hell is that? And how does it relate to, wait, what am I even doing? Look, honestly, I really just think that you should bow out of the alpha and watch the development progress. If it progresses and you see changes for the better, great, come and join us. If you don't, then you save some money. But for the love of all that is holy, wildly commenting on stuff without researching is just insane. Oh my fucking god, this fucking guy. And then he went and climbed Mount Everest with all the money that he made from selling this fucking shitty ass fucking game.
How did other people respond?
It's hard to say because I think this fight was kind of public, so a lot of my dick riders were coming in to comment too. So it's hard to say. Like I'm pretty sure I was massively downvoted before my fans came in and.
Yeah.
Not to sound like, oh, and then I said, not to sound like a dick, but your entire message reeks of fuck E3, so why go at all? It's too much work to prepare a proper presentation? Contractual obligation. That's not how contractual obligation works. If your boss tells you that you have to prepare something for an expo, then you have to do it. You can't take shit. And then when your boss is like, what the fuck, dog? Your presentation was shitty. Like, I really don't like this expo, but you told me to do something, so I just threw something together. And like, what the fuck? What kind of stupid fucking shit is that? What, how, why? How does anybody think that works?
The mindset here is different though because he doesn't work for them the same way that somebody goes and gets hired at Walmart and works for a manager there. He was the mastermind creator guy.
Truly, this is
the dankest dungeon. Or did in a completely
As a software lead developer, these guys sound like real cucks. Their time concerns about this supposed E3 environment sounds like a basic testing environment. Their quality engineers should have scripts for this shit. Amateurs.
Remember when they said they were redesigning the whole engine out of an MMO engine, and that was why it was so revolutionary? That's why it needed so much time, because they were rebuilding it out of an MMO engine? Oh my god. Destiny, obviously his and your ego were getting in the way. So I agree that that happens sometimes, but in these particular things, I really do think I was being like fairly generous. I guess I'm reading this now. Some of it was kind of sort of passive aggressive, but like I felt like I was being pretty kind. Not to sound like a dick, but your entire message reeks of fuck E3, so why go at all? It's too much work, blah, blah, blah. Why go to E3 at all if you were just going to completely half-ass it? I have no idea why you wouldn't just release another dev blog like you've been doing in the past rather than disrespecting E3 as an event and all of the fans that were looking forward to what you had to showcase there. Basic engine like movement, pathing, unit collision, like the basic elements that people expect to just work when playing again, they don't really care about.
When you read your stuff, instead of reading it in your nice voice, can you read it in the angriest voice possible?
It's not even like that angry though.
Yeah, but he doesn't. Just imagine that he thinks a hater is reading it, and read it in the voice of one of the angry autistic people that you read.
Okay, I guess I'll try it. Okay, we'll try. I'm gonna autism my own message. This would be an amazing thing if you would have just brought to E3 what you'd, hold on. It's really hard to do this in my own text. This would be an amazing thing if what you'd brought to E3 was actually showing off your work, though. That's the problem. From what you said, you've done a great deal of work, but we saw nothing of that at E3. Calculations like a door moving your play. I think everything I'm saying is really reasonable. I can't do this. I can't do this. I think I'm being more than reasonable in all of this.
Just pretend Agadim
I can't
wrote
do it. I
Just
can't do it.
pretend Agadim wrote it. It was a good try.
You need to research the points very carefully first, particularly around the differences between an MMO and an FPS. What?
This is the dankest dungeon.
Hello YouTube. Just kidding. Fuck Phantom Lord.
Agadim.
Agadim is full retard. I don't understand how he can be so retarded sometimes. It's really hard. Alright. I'm sorry. I don't know how we even got onto this game. Fuck this shitty ass game. Oh, because they released a new patch and we started talking about it. Okay, we're cutting trees.